How you going to explain that to your wife and kid? No one likes a loser. Time to leave the boozer. Seems your lucky streak is at an end. But before you go, please introduce me to your friend. Hello, baby. It's me. Boyo.
Very good. On an offensiveness scale of 1 to 10, I'd say it was a 6, but it's got to go in.
Yeah, I might even give it a 7, Dave, but I'm with you. I think it has to go in. Yeah. Nice.
Well, it's a good job that poems can be offensive then, and funny. Funny, Pit. Something you'd know nothing about.
And serious. His name is Bob and he's lost his job. Ergo, his situation ain't very good. We're told he owes God sends even at weekends and he never got paid what he should. He was a hospital porter with 2 young daughters and a wife who's a classroom TA. She gets okay money, but without being funny, won't keep the wolves at bay. Bob's job was lost when his stuck-up boss wasted money on a dodgy deal. Boss should have gone to jail, but justice is for sale. So his crimes were successfully concealed. Bob was a great porter, and that really ought to get him a job easily, but Bob is stuck and he's all out of luck because he can't write a good CV. It's weird how so much depends on that A4 lens, and it's only a piece of paper, and let's be honest, no one is astonished when truth on a CV is vapor. No one checks Bob's ability or even his compatibility with the advertised vacancy. They just accept that Bob is inept because of his poor CV. But writing a CV isn't the vacancy. So why is he being judged on that skill? Bob was a hospital porter. He's got a wife and 2 daughters, and he's just opened another bill. The worry and the stress leave Bob in a mess, and he tries to get some assistance, but the guy at the dole who hasn't got a soul gives him nothing but resistance. Bob is told straight that it's too late. This is his last opportunity, but Bob fails again to make the grain. It drives him to lunacy. Sick, depressed, and tired that he can't get hired, Bob takes his own life. Bob was a hospital porter. He leaves 2 young daughters and a heartbroken wife. Bob.
Blimey.
And a heartbroken
So funny,
wife.
here we are in the middle of a global pandemic. Been
Bob.
locked down for weeks. Don't trust the government that's bringing us out of lockdown. You have good days, you have bad days. Sometimes things get on top of you. If you're feeling like that, folks, hang on in
And a
there.
heartbroken
So funny,
wife.
here we are in the middle of a global pandemic. But for us right now,
Bob.
locked down for weeks. Don't trust the government that's bringing us out of lockdown. We need a bit of a change of pace. You have good days, you have bad days. Sometimes things get on top of you. Before we started, folks, hang on in
And a
there.
heartbroken
Bought some
wife.
scratch cards. Now, normally for us, right now,
normally,
down for weeks.
I'd give you one each. But we're doing this remotely. You can't get each, so I'll do them all for you. You just trust me.
Steve?
Coin.
What, Steve, what's that thing behind you on the wall?
That's it. Ow!
You obviously haven't got the latest security upgrade on your laptop, mate. What can I say?
Hey!
I tell you to do your updates.
How have you... What? Can't believe...
You're scratching them off now, by the way, Perseus. Well, I am.
Imagine, right, if we were doing a live show, we could nick them off him and hand them out to all the audience members.
What?
That'd be great. Think of the publicity if one of them won.
Oh, Poetry Show millionaire.
It's
I'm not
tenth of a millionaire, really, isn't it?
What?
100,000, it's tenth of a millionaire.
Well, Poetry Show, 10th of a millionaire. Be brilliant. They could buy all our merchandise.
To be honest.
Buy yours. I've sold out of mine.
Oh, yeah, he always has to drop that in, doesn't he?
He only had 3 printed and one was to his mum.
Harsh but true. So, well, I didn't win anything. Did you win?
No.
No.
Neither here nor in Australia. Sorry.
You see, I mean, I'll be honest. First of all, you probably screwed it up because one of those was definitely a winning card. And if you'd let me do it, I'd have done it better. Do you know what I mean? I'd have scratched them in a different order. I'd have zoned in. I'd have opened my chakras. Everything would have been good. I'd have won. And you screwed it up. Pair of you.
What the hell are you wittering on about, man?
Well, what I'm trying to say, I mean, I loved you. I don't get, you're going to have to show me the trick, that IT magic. I don't know how you've done that, but you've got to show me. And I kind of like your idea, perhaps, for a show about letting the audience members do it. But realistically, at the same time, good though those were, you took the winning scratch cards and you screwed them up.
What
I'm trying to say, basically, is I'm a little bit conflicted about what you've done there. There's good and bad, swings and roundabouts, uppers and downers. You know what I mean? No, let me explain it with a poem. The glass, you ask, is it half empty or half full? I say, I need more information. What's in the glass, for starters? Is it water, wine, some kind of fizz, a golden hoppy ale, or that soulless industrial piss you guzzle by the gallon? Please, you say, what's in there doesn't matter. Well, is it a shot glass or a tankard, a goblet or a flute? The size is clearly something to consider. And do aesthetics count? Or is the bucket under the sink as one with the crystal decanter and the plastic pipe? You interrupt to say, it's just as simple. And who owns the glass? Is it you? Me? Some rich bloke with a gun? Is this the only glass in existence, or have we all got one? You're asking me to make a value judgment without setting the glass in context, and I can't accept your premise that it's possible to offer an opinion without taking into account the world in which the glass exists. And you tell me to... What?
Stop being a smart arse.
And get the freaking beers in.
Well, I would normally, wouldn't I? But we do it... Ooh. I might give it a go. Yeah, let's see. Same again?
Yeah, cider.
Yep, no worries.
Right, actually, Steve.
Okay, weirdo.
Steve?
Yeah?
Get us a bag of scratchings.
All right, mate. Yeah, I can do that. See you in a bit.
What are you doing?
What?
You gawping at page 3.
I'm looking at the apologies on page 2.
How much pressure women are under to conform to ideals of beauty without you sitting there gawping at some woman's mangalulas.
No.
Does love the skin that you're in, put the wheels in motion, throw down your face creams and your overpriced lotion. Beauty products and overblown claims for the bin, raise a manicured fist and stick out your chin or chins. Defy and resist, promote the notion laboratoire products don't deserve our devotion. They're creating a problem, then providing a potion. Sisters, forget silk armpits, plump lashes, new skin, love the skin that you're in. Made up endorsements, pig Latin promotion, beware of women in white, full of emotion. Oh, you're ugly, you're old, get those wrinkles filled in. Max factors in profit, and old age is a sin. Because you're worth it. Forget their hype and commotion. Sisters, love the skin that you're in.
Right there. What did I miss? Anything much?
Him, gawping at page 3.
I wasn't looking at page 3, I was looking at the apologies on page 2.
Oh, whoa, hold on. Right. Your scratchings and your cider are there, all right? So help yourselves.
He ain't having his scratchings. He don't deserve them.
How did she do that? I don't get it. How do you...
I wasn't looking at page 3, I was looking at the apologies on page 2.
Ooh, not the apologies on page 2 excuse, Dave. Oh, no, never really works. If you're in that hole, fella, just stop digging.
Right. We're scared of evidence, afraid of the facts, terrified of logic. We can't relax. Every waking moment we are paranoid. Maybe it's because we get our news from tabloids. We don't fear a zombie poltergeist. We don't fear a vampire, zombie or poltergeist, but we shit it if we think our fuel is overpriced. Or if someone younger than us gives us advice. We're scared of an old man called Jeremy. You know, the one called Corbyn, the Schrodinger MP who's somehow unelectable and a threat to national security. We think British values should be followed by all, but what are they? The Saturday night pub crawl, or is it queuing, xenophobia and fighting at football? We're terrified of what porn is doing to our society. It's a danger to our kids, I'm sure you'll agree, but we hope the feminazis don't stop us oogling page 3. And then there's cancer growing under our skin. Apparently, it's caused by cheese.
And porn.
And people from Berlin.
And tea, coffee, being obese or being thin. Cancer, it comes from morphine, mouthwash, retirement, plastic bags, GM crops, abortions, the internet, having a dad. Oh, and let's not forget sex, sausages and foreign flags. We should be bemused that we think our belts of tolerance hang loose when so many of us share anti-Muslim abuse. And we don't demand answers from the political class wankers, and we don't think it matters when disabled people are punished for the crimes of bankers. Because we gorge on lies, digest the daily hate, stuff ourselves silly on the plate of xenophobia they create and then laugh when her off-Corrie can't lose weight. We fear everything that should connect us in favour of the falsehoods they fire directly at us, and we let it affect us because we're scared of evidence, afraid of the facts, terrified of logic. We can't relax. Every waking moment we are paranoid, and it's all because we get our news from tabloids.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
And where does that get you?
All the way to the White House.
Trump. I don't suppose Donald Trump was living in Wolverhampton in the 90s. And I don't suppose, even if he was there, he went dancing in the web with his blonde Lego hair, audibly flick-flacking up and down as he pogoed to Firestarter. But his sort of mentality, you have to understand, was alive and kicking in our clubland. Oh, yeah, it was thriving. Back then, there was a fad, I'm sad to say, of Trump-style pussy grabbing. You'd be giving it large, having a good time, and some bloke could make a grope for your lady bits. No, not your tits. Your Auntie Annie, your Fanny. You know, down there where it counts, to quote Prince, whose discs may well have been spinning on the decks, his voice oozing sex. Though that grab had nothing to do with Prince's sort of sex. This was an invasion of space, a violation, the hot shock of humiliation. Yeah, that's how it felt. And then the guy just melt into the crowd and you'd be, oh crap, did I just imagine that? And then your head said, maybe I should stop drinking or queuing at the bar and sit quietly with my legs crossed like some little girl lost, or maybe just end the night and go home. Right, because every woman's place is there. In that grab was the joke about closer to the sink. In that grab was every know your place, bitch, every power trip, every glass ceiling. That feeling was about control. And then the paranoia would set in. The female conditioning. Was it good enough for him? What if he noticed I was on? What if my vagina was substandard? What if him and his mates were sitting there now laughing at me and my C-U-N-T? And talking of those, I know Donald Trump is not to blame in this story, that he's not really connected to this memory, not personally. I mean, for example, he wasn't there the night my friend Shiv got grabbed like that. He wasn't there when she went home early. And it has to be said, Trump wasn't there as she lay in bed for an hour or more, simmering, her black eyes flashing in her freckled face, until she decided to wake her brother, 6'4", handsome, used to kicking it out on the terraces on a Saturday afternoon. And soon she talked him into taking her back out, giving her a lift up to the curry house, the one where everyone went after the web. That said, her brother waited outside. Seen her fired up like that before, not getting involved. Not anymore. So it was, our Shiv went in and spied the chap who wasn't Trump, the one who'd done that. She walked over to his table and she twatted him. They say his nose broke in 2 places, he dribbled blood into his vindaloo. The sad thing is he probably never knew what she'd hit him for. And perhaps it hurt like fuck for a week or two, and his mates all took the piss like mates do. And although he'll never really know what it is to be a woman, in that second, yes, he had a sense of what it is to be the weaker sex. So that thump, although clearly violence isn't right, does take me back to Trump and the so-called locker room quip, which he said, although he's ashamed, was just banter. Shiv and me, I'm not sure we'd agree. What Donald Trump has in store for the world, only heaven knows. But when he goes, and eventually he will, you mark my words, pound to a penny, or a penny to a pound, it'll be a slow, simmering woman that takes the bastard down.
I got taken down by a woman once.
Hey?
What?
Did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. A mate of mine got taken down by a woman once. Huh?
What's his name? This mate, his name?
Terry.
Quite slow with the mate's name there.
Oh, Terry, definitely Terry.
Terry Towling.
No, Terry.
Pterodactyl.
No.
Teriyaki.
No.
Terry Firma.
No. Terry. I can't. Let's just stop with the terrible puns, would you? I mean.
Double-barreled. Yeah.
Terry.
Look, I never knew his surname, all right? I just didn't know it. We just met very briefly. We were ships that passed in the night, that's all.
Yeah, and he told you this poem, did he?
He did. Yeah.
Did he? So he told you in rhyme?
He did, yeah.
Yeah. And is he a better poet than you? Just checking. When lockdown's finished, we're going to have some gigs, aren't we? You know what I mean?
We'll see how this goes then, shall we, Dave? This is Terry's story. It happened, right, apparently, on a National Express bus ride between Birmingham and London, okay? I'm pretty sure I was somewhere in France. Couldn't have been there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, according to him, true story. The kids are high on sugar. Their dad is high on crack. You're 5 minutes out of Digbeth, you wish you could turn back. Their baby's filled its nappy. Whoa, foul and evil smell. You're on a National Express bus ride with the dysfunctional family from hell. Their eldest daughter's sodcast is ringing in your ears. She's necking vodka Red Bull while her boyfriend chugs on beer. They're en route to heavy petting with a stop in Milton Keynes. On this journey, you'll be finding out just what shameless means. The mother's wearing jeggings. The material's stretched thin. Bits of her are poking out she should be keeping in. Her attempts at keeping orders, shouting,
"Hey, you little..."
at her son, who's gobbing greenies on the window at the front. Something snaps at Coventry. By rugby, you think, stuff it. The daughter passes round a joint. You join in and puff it. A dad offers you a cider. Very decent fella. His name is Brian. He's chopping out a fat line of Nigella. He's a lecturer in politics. And let's face it, none of us saw that coming, did we?
Always punch up.
Never punch down.
He's a lecturer in politics. The son does engineering. The daughter works in mental health. They're really quite endearing. But they like to let their hair down when the working week is done. And now it's Friday evening and they're out to have some fun. Soon you're sipping Chablis with his sultry sweetheart, Sue.
I'll be Sue.
His sultry sweetheart, Sue. She's a psychosexual therapist who started life in Crewe. She says,
"Wine and Kundalini are the cure to all our ills."
and then somewhere, just past Bedford, she offers you some pills. By the time you pass through Watford, you're coming up so strong. You're flinging off your clothing and bursting into song. The driver barks.
Down, sir!
In response, you call out, "Chew!" You're chewing gum for England and grinning like a loon. You're telling Brian, "I love you. That's me. It's not the drugs. I really, really mean it." Then you give the bloke a hug. By the bottom of the M1, you're having the best time. You even dance to dubstep, Dolly Parton, and some grime. The bus pulls into Victoria, but the party never ends. You're making big and little boxes with Sue and Brian and friends, and you wake up 3 days later in Southampton, in a park. You don't know how you got there. Your skin is pocked with marks which look disturbingly like love bites. There's a number on your chest. A scroll reads, "Call us soon, we love you. XXXXXX." Your chakras have been plundered. Your underpants are gone. Parts of you are tender. The rest of you is numb. Wearing lipstick smears and jeggings, the material stretched thin, bits of you keep falling out although you took them in. You stumble off in search of water. You're not feeling very well. You're the victim of a bus ride with the dysfunctional family from hell. A small voice suggests that next time you should maybe take the train. But you know, come Friday at 5 o'clock, you'll be in Digbeth once again because sobriety is wonderful. Moderation is all very well. But you're for the life of excess on a National Express with a dysfunctional family from hell.
Very good. Okay, so you got taken down by a woman.
Terry.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Terry got taken down by a woman. I got lifted up by one. I want to take you aside and tell you the reason that I'm alive. It's all because of my tattooed bride. Not that it matters, but we met at this group for wannabe actors, and on her skin were these black lines. Those unique designs combined with her mind make her divine. In those early days, I'd think of any excuse to walk back to her place. No, not to get to first base. Just wanted to hear her speak. Her words were like rainfall washing away the dirt of all the years of mistrust, hatred, and hurt. Listen to me. Babbling, I know it must be maddening, but bear with me. This one day, I was walking her home and the rain was soaking us to the bone, but it didn't matter. We just continued our chatter, putting the world to rights, and my life filled with shadows. It got some highlights. And as the rain poured, my confidence soared, and I told her she was adored. This painter, this sculptor, this code and convention corrupter, and as the rain dripped off the end of her nose, I knew that I loved her. Those tattoos, those unique designs combined with her mind break the confines of my views. See the world through better eyes, and it all because of my tattooed bride. She is a lighthouse whose beam beats in time with my heart. She is an effortless buckle to my wannabe Bogart. She sports odd socks and wears my t-shirt as a vest, and it was obvious we were right for each other when we high-fived after sex. Don't flatter yourself, mate.
So, what about your past then, Purshouse?
Yeah, we've heard about Terry's past. We've heard about my past, so...
I don't really have a past. I'm sort of pure as the driven snow, really, me.
Yeah, me as well.
Yeah, me, definitely. Yeah.
What drove over yours?
Pretty much everything, I think.
Muck's brother.
Actually, I do have one ex-boyfriend I could tell you about. Spent most of his time, he was homeless on the streets of Wolverhampton when this happened, picking up cigarette ends or nubs, as we call them. He was clearly vulnerable, but he still managed to get himself into a spot of bother, even doing that. This is Skell's story. Anywhere that people stand or sit or wait, that's always been the ideal place for me to be. Nubs on a plate. But the mobile revolution, that's been poxy, destroyed the nub potential of the telephone box, you see. Where they used to stand, smoke, 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 to make a call, smoke, smoke, smoke. They dropped them all. And sometimes on the little shelf, there'd be a surprise package from the nicotine elf. Maybe 6 or 8 of a Lucky Strike cellophane intact, the whole damn pack. Those were the days, mate, when smoking was great. But for a long while, I have to say, the bottom had dropped out of the ashtray. Times of dejection. But recently, there's been a whole new nub injection. I'm talking about the smoking ban, a gift from God, man, well, the government at least. Outside every pub and place of work, around your feet, there on the street, there's a nub feast. Here's a nub, there's a nub, everywhere's a nub, nub. There by the door, nub, nub, nub. Here on the floor, nub, nub, nub. And I lead the mini revolution, bags for free. Customs and excise duty, not me. I'm rebelling, I'm revolting. I'm the recyclist stream. I'm a clean, green, nub rolling machine. Imagine my delight when I find your inch of white. 2's up. My cup runneth over. Here's a nub, there's a nub, everywhere's a nub, nub. Oh boy, nub joy. Till last week, when I got done for dropping a nub, dud one, tobacco already gone. Like I told the judge, it's an unfair cop. I'll pick up 1,000 nubs for everyone that I drop. But she thought I was taking the mick.
No ifs, no buts. You're committing a crime.
But like I told her, there were buts, and they weren't mine. So I'm going to pay the 80 quid fine. So, if you were to give me a couple of quid, just as a sub, I wouldn't buy bags. I'd still pick up me nubs. I'd put your money to better use. I'd pay off me dues. Or buy some more booze. Bottle of Frosty Jacks, perhaps. Not just away round the tax on that.
It's kind of coming together quite nicely, isn't it? Do you think?
Is it flowing organically like a conversation?
Yeah, it is actually.
I love you guys.
Ooh. Is he drunk?
I'm not sure.
Goes quickly, doesn't he?
I've got one.
Oh, he's got something.
Hang on, it's in my notebook. Hold on.
He's gone. We can talk about him now while he's not here.
He's not going to start dancing on tables, is he? Again?
I hope not. Not after last time. Took us weeks to put his hip back in.
Taking the piss out of me, you two.
No. Not
But
at all,
don't.
guys.
This is serious, this is. I'm being serious here and you two are fucking giggling all over it. Will you shut up?
No,
I didn't laugh during the Trump poem,
just
did I?
happy to see you.
I didn't laugh during the Trump poem.
I don't know, I haven't got my glasses on.
We're ready whenever you are, Dave.
It's a dramatic pause. Can you show a bit of respect? She was the perfect woman. Then she took up the saxophone. I fear all brass instruments. I dumped her, deleted her details. Turns out the saxophone's woodwind. Who fucking knew?
Oh, Dave, at the end of the day, it's all about people, isn't it, mate?
A warm, rosy glow.
We
Yeah,
are
God,
suckers
yeah.
for that.
We are indeed. Do you think this time we had a love poem?
Yeah.
All right, let's finish with a love poem then. This is about the difficulties of A, living with a poet, and B, expecting a straight answer to a simple question. This is a poem called You Ask Me Where I Want to Live, My Love. It could be in the tundra, a desert, a forest.
A boat.
On a mountain.
Or out on the coast.
An apartment, a terrace, a van or a castle, a tent, yurt or igloo, it really doesn't matter. But it must be somewhere where commuters stop and stand on their way home to marvel at another sunset. And for the first time that day, making a mental note to phone in sick in the morning. Where the Daily Mail declares its compassion knows no borders, champions the rights of asylum seekers, elects a teenage single mum as editor, and proclaims the benefit system is the mark of a society not afraid to offer help to those in need. When she hears this news, Katie Hopkins looked like she's swallowed a wasp. Where politicians start speeches on British values by saying they spent yesterday watching the grace and beauty of swallows hunting over summer meadows, and they lost themselves in it for hours, and the speech never got written. And sod it, it was worth it. And what is this nationalistic flag waving bullshit anyway? And when we vote for them, they say,
No, thanks.
rather be watching the swallows. And why don't we crack on with sorting things out ourselves? We're more than capable of doing it without them. And it could be in a farmhouse, a mansion, an empty plot.
A hot air balloon.
Or a racing yacht.
In Lundy, Fastnet, German Bite, Trafalgar.
Dogger.
Comedy.
Yeah, all right. But it must be somewhere where we never forget we pass this way but once, and every day is another shot at redemption. Where the old and the weak and the dying are wheeled out each evening to feel the rain on their face in case they do not live to see the dawn. And each and every news bulletin starts with images of the miracle of birth to remind us what we're doing here. Where kids learn about homelessness and poverty in history books. And ask,
Was slavery like dinosaurs, miss?
and when the teacher asks them to imagine what it must have been like to bed down cold and hungry and alone. Year 9 find it so distressing just to send them out into the playground to burn off their confusion. And over by the bike sheds, Sally gathers the others round and makes them swear that if ever the grown-ups invent a poverty again, they'll give them extra double mass of Mr. Jackson until they promise to behave. And then they get back to playing kiss chase, and the playground rings with screams and laughter.
It could be in Manhattan or Morecambe.
Wolves or West Brom.
Just 4 walls and a roof and a place to call home. Could be northeast Norwich, could be southwest Ayr, could be hell.
Oh,
Halifax.
I don't care. But it must be somewhere with a bee loud glade and a pub at hand where we drink by firelight, sit with friends talking, laughing, making plans. And we're up every morning at dawn, walking through dew, watching the sun burn the mist off the gentle flowing river, or the rain hit the windows, or the snowfall. And all this won't even be the half of it, because we'll be lying at night on grass under blankets listening to cicadas, feeling moths brush against our faces, looking up at stars so numerous, can't begin to count them. And you explain the Big Bang Theory to me again, and I nod and say, in all the right places, but we both know I haven't got a hope of getting my head around it. I just think it looks fucking fantastic. Where the world is filled with music and the symphony of silence. For an audience of millions and an audience of one. Where Simon Cowell is on gardening leave indefinitely. Where we will make love every day. Morning,
in all the right places, but we both know I haven't got a hope of getting my head around it. I just think it looks fucking fantastic.
And with passion and with howling.
Where the world is filled with music and the symphony of silence. For an audience of millions and an audience of one. Where Simon Cowell is on gardening leave indefinitely. Where we will make love every day.
Or out on the coast.
Morning,
in all the right places.
Terry Savannah or a castle at 10 years to Ridley. It really doesn't matter, but it must.
Fucking fantastic. And with passion and with howling. The world is filled with music.
You're right.
And the symphony of
I haven't mentioned house prices.
for an audience of millions and an audience of one. Where Simon Cowell
And I haven't a clue whether the market is booming or about to burst, but the truth is,
love every day.
Or out on the
every time
coast.
I try,
In all the right places.
Terry Savannah or a castle at 10 years to Ridley. It really doesn't matter, but it must.
Fucking fantastic.
That is
with passion and with howling. The world is filled with
It
music.
probably isn't going to change. And all I can say in my defence is that with a handful of cable ties, a couple of rolls of gaffer and a modicum of judiciously applied brute force, I can fix pretty much anything. Mine or about to burst, but the truth is, because
Or out on the
it's
coast.
watching each other's
In all
backs
the right places.
And nurturing our abilities.
Fucking fantastic.
that makes us strong.
And with howling. The
Has
world
to
is
count.
filled with
It
music.
probably isn't going to change. And all I can say in my defence is with a handful of cable ties, a couple of rolls of gaffer and a
With
modicum
you.
of
Where Simon
judiciously
Cowell
applied brute force, my possibilities for
Mine or about to
growing old.
burst, but the truth is,
Time passing so slowly to us
in
back.
all the right places.
And nurturing our abilities.
And where that makes when they reel us out of tags to cannot just the rain about the change. And all I can say in my defence is with a handful of cable ties, a couple of rolls of gaffer and a modicum of
When we close our eyes that night.
growing old. Time passing so slowly to do it all again.
And nurturing our abilities. And dancing. I need a wee.
Me too, my bladder's bursting. Do it all again. Not worried. First house has muted herself already, so she don't care. See ya.
I need a wee. I've seen that pit.
Not worried. First house has muted herself already, so she don't care. See ya.
I need a wee. I've seen that pit.
Not worried. First house has muted herself already, so she don't care. See ya.
I need a wee. I've seen that pit.
Not worried. First house has muted herself already, so she don't care. See ya.
I need a wee. I've seen that pit.
Not worried. First house has muted herself already, so she don't care. See ya.
I need a wee. I've seen that pit.
Not worried. First house has muted herself already, so she don't care. See ya.
I need a wee. I've seen that pit.
Not worried. First house has muted herself already, so she don't care.
That's the best way to avoid pregnancy. This next bit is based on the Northern sweary expression bloody Nora, which to me sounds like an old lady who's become a serial killer. And I've combined that with the idea of Nitty Nora. Do you remember the knit nurses at school, Nitty Nora the Bug Explorer? So this is the ballad of Bloody Nora. Nasty notions nag within the noggin of old knit nurse Nora. After 50 years of scalp surveillance, she could stand no more. Her sanity was slowly stolen by insomnia. Her husband was a snorer. Criminally insane will be the best description for her. For decades, the kid's knit discomfort really got her goat. But now, the goat's been sacrificed. She's flipped and slit his throat. She doesn't blame the children, gives discreet shampoo, no shame. It's crystal clear in Nora's eyes, the parents are to blame. With her meat cleaver in hand, she now begins her killing spree. You filthy gits have all got knits as far as I can see. See her bulging egg-eyed glares, she's deadly as a rabbit's throat. Nora's knitture is simple, cut your hair off at the throat. Her rampage knows no limits as she tears across the nation. Septuagenarian serial killer seeks to spread decapitation. From town to town she travels in her mobile home at Tora. She's still alive, pray you don't face the blade of bloody Nora. Now the other thing they had in that medical encyclopedia was all the correct medical names for parts of your body. For example, this part here above your genitals is called your pubis. That doesn't sound like part of your body. It sounds like a dodgy supermarket. Burger? Yes, burger. Don't head from pubis. Oh, burger, yes. Give us 8 cans of special brew, Bocca White Lightning, 40 Barclay Red, and a bag of pork scratchings. Here, burger, get yourself a bite of thick rolls for going. Ooh, thick rolls. They're as good as a dose of opening medicine. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, Bernard's a gem, he really is. He always goes to shop for me. I go myself when I get caught short. Not incontinent, it's just the sight of me. Weapons. You know, I tried going to the shop myself a couple of weeks ago. It was a disaster. I'd only gone 2,000 you've stolen this take off an horse. I'm making a bin, they're not real. I'd only gone 200 yards. I got caught short. Coppers caught me, squatting on curb and pissing and grin. Just smiled up that stuck-up nosy cow from next door, drove past at just that moment. Well, don't bother me, she might be stuck up with a dirty cow. A rapper rabbit got myxomatosis. She's better than breast fish. I've seen her through the kitchen window, scratching her ass on plunger from the cafetiere. Crappuccino for dirty bastards. Funnily enough, I was in a coffee shop earlier today. I said, I'd like a small mocha, please. Leprechaun went out and said, you're a big ginger garchoy. Young Elvis. In the early days of his career, young Elvis was given the nickname Elvis the Pelvis because of how he moved his hips on stage, not out of meekness. I bet he was relieved his parents didn't name him Enos. And on the same thing, this is called Free Meals with Roger. Don't stir the porridge with your penis. Don't use your dip to spread the jam. Don't put your chatter in the sugar puffs. You've made an awful first infection on me, ma'am. Don't use your anus as an ashtray. And don't smear the ketchup in your crack. Don't poke a sausage up your sphincter. And these friends of ours may not invite us back. Must you dip your gonads in the gravy? You don't have to bathe your bollocks in the broth. Oh, now you've got your testes in the teapot. Well, I hope you scald the buggers. You've got fat time. I'm off. Telephone appointments now, and not 3 months away, I had a chest infection, so I rang up, the doctor said hello. I said, hello doctor, I'm chesty. He said, I need your real name, not your stripper name, otherwise I can't find your records. Speaking of which, I can see there are a few people in the audience, a few of my regular lap dance clients from the Pussycat Club in tonight. Well, I've listened to your feedback and I've done what you asked me to do. I now accept credit card payments. I've had a card reader inserted in the crack of my arse. There was some teething troubles initially. For a few days I was farting cash back. But that's all sorted out now. So I know what you're asking. I accept your credit card payments. Swipe your card between the cheeks and let the dance begin. And if you like, you can sing that to the tune of an Irish folk song. Swipe your card between the cheeks and then the dance begin. That song could come in very useful in your everyday life. For example, you might be on a crowded bus or train and you want to sing to yourself and sing that loud as you can. Or you might be at a job interview and halfway through you think, well, this is really not the job for me. Sing your way to freedom. I'd like to close this section with something called, oh, what is she knitting? Oh, what is she knitting? Why is she knit? She stands on the spitting, she spits, and her spittle is brimming, but still she won't quit. Though her goatee needs trimming, so don't repent. Yet she knits on regardless of the length of the wool. The happy head is unkempt, and her spittle is full. I admire her resilience, I've noted her grip. What is she knitting? Who does it fit? A beast of considerable size. And if he takes after her, we must run for our lives. Stay safe, cheeky scamps. Brimming, but still she won't quit. Though her goatee is trimming, so yet she knits on regardless of the length of the wool. The happy head is unkempt, and her spittle is full. I admire her resilience, I've noted her grip. What is she knitting? Who does it fit? Considerable size. She takes after her. We must run for our lives. Stay safe, cheeky scamps. Brimming, but still she won't quit. Though her goatee is trimming, so yet she knits on regardless of the length of the wool. And her spittle is full. I admire her resilience, I've noted her grip. What is she knitting? Who does it fit? Considerable
get out. Yeah, me and him were just not getting on. We're rowing all the time. He went out for a dog walk the other night and came back straight away, just started screaming and shouting at me. I were fucking livid. Oh, maybe I were fucking jabbed. Who knows? No, really. He did say to me, he's like, why don't you like me anymore? I was like, well, to be honest with you, love, I'd much prefer you with a hard body. Well, give him his credit. He worked out every single day for 3 weeks, and he came back to me and said, what do you think now? Talk about feeling awkward. I'd meant rigor mortis. Oh, maybe I was fucking jabbing. Anyway, no, I mean, he has let himself go. I had to say to him, you smell so bad. Are you even wiping anymore? Yeah. He held up this little red puppy. The man does not know his arse from his elbow. Hey, have you seen Julie? I bumped into her last week. She was walking all funny, kind of waddling and throwing birdseed over her shoulder. I said, Julie, what are you doing, love? She said, I'm trying to get rid of this thrush. But she went for a job interview, did you hear? Yeah, they'd asked for somebody dedicated. She took along a rated corpse. I'm working now, yeah, as a nail technician at Screwfix. No, but really, that's where I met the boyfriend. He used to work in HR, but you know, they must have been dead strict on paperwork because he got fired for defiling a client. Just the wine tonight, well, I've had to go cold turkey. My dealer stopped speaking to me. Called me a right cow, just because I ate all his grass and shat where I stood. No, really, I've gone cold turkey because I've had to stop. I'm trying to save some money. His mum, she came up with some right good ideas. She said, why don't you put a solar panel on your roof? That'll cut down on your bills. I said, well, what's a solar panel? She said, oh, it absorbs the sun's emissions. So I put a box of tissues and two of his socks up there, but nothing. Oh, but she did also tell me to add pulses to my food. She said it'll make it go so much further, and she wasn't wrong. I connected my steak to the mains and it flew over 20 feet. Yeah, it's all good. Oh, my nan, she's still going. She's getting older now, though, isn't she? Yeah, she started to lose things, mostly her living friends. She hasn't been getting out much. She did say to me, lovey, can you organise a trip for me? So let's went to tea with magic mushrooms. Yeah. Hey, you know my dad, don't you? Yeah, well, he started fishing. Well, at least that's what he told my mum when he got arrested for baiting hookers. Well, anyway, I've taken up a bit of fishing myself, catfishing. I put it out there that I was a 25-year-old virgin looking for love. Well, I'll tell you what, I caught something, but it's all right. I know how to get rid of that now. See you later. Yeah, well, he started fishing. Well, at least that's what he told my mum when he got arrested for baiting hookers. Well, anyway, I've taken up a bit of fishing myself, catfishing. I put it out there that I was a 25-year-old virgin looking for love. Well, I'll tell you what, I caught something, but it's all right. I know how to get rid of that now. See you later. Yeah, well, he started fishing.
This is a poem called Fuck Me, Those Are Big Houses. I've been going on along countryside walks down the roads that lead out of Norwich. It's not long until you arrive at the thatched Red Lions and the cricket pitches of the villages. A woman on stepladders clips her conifers, using gardening implements worth more than my Ford Fiesta. Next to her, a man with his arm in a sling struggles with the weeding. Life will not stop throwing us these challenges. It's because of my heart I've been going on these walks. My doctor was worried about irregularities. She said, I'm going to refer you to a cardiologist. It's probably nothing serious, she said, but you never know. You can never be too careful about these things. Who would have thought Michael Portillo would make such engaging programmes about railways, and it won't be long until we all have driverless cars. It's a confusing world, dude, she said. We all need to look out for each other. Everyone here at the surgery, we are here for you. I like going on these walks. I've heard 3 Sundays in a row the trumpet, land of hope and glory, note perfect. Maybe it's a kid forced to practice before an exam. Do not move.
An evil plot is hatched. Into your crevice he will venture. Because there are no teeth in there, he'll fit a set of dentures. He glues them in securely, you can pull your cheeks apart. But these new teeth are there for good. They chatter when you fart. The grim Reaper's apprentice. Fear the anal dentist. Now his work is done. His desire is not to kill, unless you miss a checkup, in which case he surely will. He warned you brush them twice a day, and if you dare resist, you're going to meet a sticky end at the hands of the anal dentist. I went on a big trip last year. I sailed to New York on an ocean liner, and we arrived very early one morning, just after breakfast, and I was going through customs, and the customs officer said, "Sir, did you work your passage?" I said, "No, but I've just had bran flakes and prune juice for breakfast. Give it half an hour." Well, I'll be right with you. I enjoyed the recent Star Wars sequels. And what I particularly enjoyed was when they brought back some actors who'd passed away, like Carrie Fisher and Peter Cushing. They brought them back with CGI animation. And I'd like to make my own director's cut of the first Star Wars film. And I'd like to bring back an actor who's passed away many years ago. I'd like to replace Obi-Wan Kenobi with George Formby. You can just imagine him warning Luke Skywalker about some kind of impending danger. I feel disturbance in the force, it's really quite a strong one. What time for that Darth Vader, Luke? Now, if you think about it, Obi-Wan Kenobi, he knew all along that Princess Leia and Luke Skywalker were brother and sister, and he didn't tell them till the 3rd film, and by that stage they'd had a couple of kisses, you know. That was a bit dodgy of him. He could have spurred him that embarrassment by warning Luke in the first film, and he could have warned him by the gift of song. Now Princess Leia is beautiful, the fellas can't resist her, but don't you try it on with her, 'cause she's really your sister. I'd also like to do The Empire Strikes Back. You know, there's that scene where Darth Vader cuts Luke Skywalker's hand off, tells him he's his father, and asks him to turn to the dark side. Well, I'd like to replace Darth and Luke with another famous father and son duo, Steptoe and Son. Old Man Steptoe